Hi guys, this is the Seattle Ring Hunter, and I'm out here with this nice field behind me. We don't have anything specifically lost in this field, but I would just like to share a little tip that I came across recently from some fellow ring finders. We've got the Mark Ellis over in Toronto, and then my buddy Brian Rudolph over there in the DC area. We're going to do a little shout out to Mark Ellis. He actually has been using this extra tool or method to do some of his grid searching on large areas like this, and so we took that information and we kind of made our own version of it, and this is what we've come up with here. It seems to work really well. It's just another option, you know. Sometimes you want to be very certain, especially if you have something of high value that you've lost and you got a lot of area to cover. And we say it so many times for the people in the lost and found community, sometimes we get a little tired of hearing the same old thing, but some of you that are new and maybe have just lost something recently, this really truly is, when you lose like a wedding ring of significant sentimental and financial value, and it means a lot to you. It's a very small ring, and we have to get our metal detectors right over the top of it to detect that. And when it gets in the grass, it's easily obscured and hard to find. And it's basically, we say it's a game of inches. If you miss it by an inch, you miss it by a mile. So that's why if somebody's out here and they're throwing stuff and they came back like 2 or 3 days later, they contact us to come out and take a look, and we need to do a thorough search in that area. We do what's called a grid pattern. It's quite common. Of course, we have all the equipment, the latest and greatest detection gear. You're calling us out from the ring finders to come help you locate that item, rather than trying to get it a machine, a cheap $100 machine from Harbor Freight or from online, and trying to do it yourself. There's a lot of there's experience that comes along with understanding what the machine's telling you with all the other trash metals. We're here with a bike path, and I can assure you that there is a lot of trash out here in this grassway, and it's going to drive a person with no experience on doing this on a normal basis. We're out several times a week for the past 5, 10, some of us 15, 20 years of doing this, actually, with a metal detector in our hands. We know what we're looking for. We have the high grade equipment and the modern technology that can actually tell us what type of metals we're looking for, and we've got a lot of techniques and stuff involved. So we can get out here and we can attack a field like this. It doesn't, at first sight, you're like, oh my God, I lost something out there, I'm never gonna see it again. And then you become concerned that someone else is gonna eyeball it or something, and just, you know, potentially it's gone forever, and you lose hope until you find someone of us from the Ring Finders website to come out and start an investigative search for you. So what I'm gonna show right now is just one technique that we use. It's one that I've just recently started to utilize, and I've kind of got it down. I just went to 3 different search sites in the last week, and I've been using it. It worked really well. I was able to give the client, the person that lost the item, a very strong confidence as myself as well, that we didn't miss any of the areas that were searched. So we definitely know where the closure areas are, where the items weren't found, and say that, you know, you don't have to be thinking about these places. You know, it could be outside of those areas until we search those areas with more effort, potentially, or whatever. But, you know, the areas that we went over, are very confident that it's not there. So that's really the key critical point. You want to hit a whole area. Well, what's the easiest and best way to keep your grid lines straight so you know when you're coming back and forth? Well, that is done simply by non-conductive tape measures on a reel, and they can come in different variants, lengths and stuff. So I've got a bag behind me here. I'm going to go ahead and set this up as just a demonstration so you can kind of see how simple and easy it is, and then I'll show later on in this video a few other sites to give you an idea of what I did recently and how well it worked for me, giving me that total confidence. So right now, I just want to say real quickly that since we have this trail here, this pathway, and it's asphalt, it takes you about 5 minutes to walk down this thing, and you can visually see that, you know, if there's a lost item there. And if it's, you know, happened right afterwards, you know, we definitely ask people to go ahead and quickly look down the pathway to make sure before, you know, they leave the site, just to make sure, because there's a lot of people coming and going, and there's a lot of good, honest people out there that will try to get it back to you, but not everybody's going to pick up your diamond ring and get it back to you, unfortunately. So those are the hot areas that we want to check right away. If you've lost something, look at the obvious spots, and then give us a call if you can't locate it there. And if, like over here, if it, like you were walking down here and you heard it tink and fell off, and it's over here in the grass over there, don't be telling people around you about it. Just get on your phone, because everyone's got a phone these days, go to theringfinders.com, and for the local area that you're at, find a local recovery specialist to come out. And even if it's a day or two later, potentially, because of scheduling, usually people are pretty responsive on the Ring Finders. They'll come out as quickly as they can, and we'll take our machines and we can find that stuff. Now, if you're out there and you threw something out of stress between you and someone else, and you threw the ring out of anger, or this happens quite often, we're not here to judge you or anything. We're here to help you recover that. Or a lot of times it's just loose fitting. During snow, you're throwing snowballs and that kind of thing, would come out all the time for that. Or if you're out here just throwing something for your pet, your dog or whatever, and it flies off, or another dog comes and the leash starts pulling on your hand with your loose ring, and you're out there in the middle and you can't really remember too much, grab some photos with your phone right after it happens. Therefore, you can get a couple from different angles. So you have the background, so we can kind of reposition if it's like a day or two later. We've had rings and feels like this, people, that we've recovered for people just recently. Some of our finders have found rings like a year and a half later. The communications got dropped, and then they got back around and went back out to the city park. It's a dog area. People are constantly out there, and platinum, palladium, gold, these rings, diamond rings, have been recovered. They've been sitting out there in the grass. So don't lose hope. Again, go to theringfinders.com and call a recovery specialist. What I'm here to demonstrate is just to show a little bit to other finders out there, some different ideas to let them kind of come up with some tools and things that they might consider to take them to the next level in their skill set as far as recovering stuff for people. And we also just want to just demonstrate this to show you, if you're like, who is this guy on the other end of this YouTube video, and what can he really do for me? I can just go get a $100 machine off the internet and kind of poke around out there. You knock yourself out. A lot of people do, and they typically wind up calling us anyway and say that thing was confusing the hell out of me, and I don't really, just come in. I give up. Come bring the specialist in. I am all about you getting your lost item back. I don't care who finds it. I don't have to be the superstar. I tell people this all the time. It's not about me being the superstar trying to find it, but call me even if you want to go get your own machine, so I can help you over the phone and be a part of your process. I can give you a lot of tips and tricks on how to get stuff back, what to think about. Just having that third person that's been involved in the lost and found community for the last 5+ years, and reading a lot of stories and understanding how this stuff gets lost and how it gets recovered, I have a lot of knowledge and wisdom that I'm willing to share with you with no obligation, because I want to help you guys. My mission is help you guys get your lost items back. The purpose of this video, like I said earlier, is to help some of the other finders in our community take their game to the next level, because it was passed on to me, and now I'm going to put it out there. Some of you out there are going to say, hey, stop sharing all the trade secrets. Hey, you know what? Chill out, everyone. It's all good. No worries. We're here to help people. Most of the people out there that aren't looking just to go out and empty parks and put it in their pocket, and they want to help people get their items back, and whatever we can't find, we get to keep. Of course, if we can't find those people, great. Everyone gets to do what they want. Finders, keepers, losers, weepers. Personally, if I find an item of value, I'm going to try to reach out to the public and the community in a certain way that we try to link back the lost items to these people, and we want to collect those smiles and get those lost items back to those people that they genuinely belong to. So that's who I am, and that's the part of why I'm sharing a bit of this. I want to help everybody out, just to be open to different ideas. This is a really great concept. It's a great, I won't say it's a concept, it's a proven process and tools. And so I'm going to go ahead and quickly demonstrate here. I'm going to set this up real quickly. I'm not out here today to actually do any searching. I'm just here to try to put a little bit of this together to make this video a little bit more understandable, and so it's a little bit more easier for you guys to understand what I'm trying to convey. That's exactly what I was trying to say there. So let me go ahead and get this stuff out. You can decide what you want to do with it in the sand or whatever. There's some different options you can do. This is for large areas, and I've used it in smaller residential yards where the topography sees. As a ring finder, what I'm searching, and I'm trying to keep a grid, and prior to having these grid lines that I'm with these tape measures, I have to kind of judge where I've been and where I haven't been, and I have to keep a straight line. And this grass, I can't drag my foot in this grass like I can on the beach and make a line. So these are some tips and tricks, and this is When you call me, I have a whole garage and a whole car full of this stuff on the ready to go, serve this Washington State. I'm in the Seattle, Washington area, and I'll go just about anywhere in Washington State if we think we have a good enough opportunity to try to recover something you've lost, even if it's just for closure and just to make certain, just to narrow down the different areas. Just, you got to give me, it starts with a phone call. Reach out to me with a phone call so we can start a private discussion. It's not going to get, all your details are not going to go out there and for other people to understand or hear about and try to steal your items. It's about talking to a specialist quickly after, even if you lost something 2 or 3 years ago in a certain area, if it's on your own private property or it's out in a dog park, a field, a hiking trail, and you had certain actions at that time you think that might have caused that, you think the ring probably came off because I pulled my cell phone out of my back pocket and I kind of, it's up on the top of the, you know, metal detector guys that go out for fun, go out to the beaches, they go out to the parks, they go out to different places, and they'll hit the schoolyards and they'll empty those places out quite a bit. If you were in a specific spot, like a hiking trail in the Pacific Northwest, and you lost a very important ring, and you think it might have been, you've looked up and down the trail and you reached out to Craigslist and nobody responded at that time, and you just want that one last opportunity. My name is Jeff Morgan, the SeattleRingHunter. Call me at 206-618-8194. If you're outside of the Seattle area or the Washington area, get on the Ring Finders website, theringfinders.com, and look for someone in your local area. Okay, enough with the commercial there. Let me go ahead and share with you this exciting new thing I'm really pumped up about with these tape measures. And they're basic. You can get them at the Home Depot, the Lowe's, or wherever. You'll see real quickly how you can set up grid lines. They're pretty quick, and I've got it right here. I've got it in a compact. Brian Rudolph came up, and he came up with seeing this kit here. And so let's go ahead and open this up. It's starting to rain a little bit, but that's what happens here in Seattle, of course. Here we go. Let me go ahead and just quickly show you that I've got 6 grid lines in here. I've got a 15-inch coil on my machine. It's a larger coil, so I can actually cover more ground. And I got about a 5-foot swing. I mean, I can swing more than 5 feet, but what's comfortable for me when I'm doing these grid lines, for me, my swing and my style, when I'm doing something I want to be very specific, I'm going to narrow my grid lines down to 5 feet. That way, when I go to the next lane, I have opportunity for a little over. And if I want to just go a little bit over the line, just to make sure I'm not missing anything, that right here. And as you can see here, I've got these, we found these spikes in the garden section. You've got a perfect line right here, especially if they say they were running down this thing here. And we're gonna get some real nice weather coming up here, guys. Yeehaw. It's okay though, not a problem. A little hail going on here. 5 feet, real quickly here. I would take it, and I could almost run it like up here. And I can just run this thing down. It's 100 feet. I got 6 of these guys. I can do about, with an edge like that, I can do 3 lanes up to 200 feet. I'm not going to stretch all that out here tonight, but if we look here, you see how this thing is all wonky and everything. You could do 300 feet, but I like the smaller one, I think, a little bit better because I have a little more control over it. I tape up to 5 feet. Look at this, guys. I can get this line, drop it right down there at 5 feet. I can pull out another line 5 feet, make another lane real easy. Just measure over. Another 5 feet here. Put another one in. And as you can see, real easy there. Then I can take my detector. If you can see this, I got hail coming down. It's a little crazy out here. I can start my search and just continue to go down. This allows me to pick up my pace a little bit. I'm not constantly, it's easy when you got an edge here. When you start getting over here and you got another lane, you just go between the two tape measures. You got to stop. You got to investigate something in the ground. Yeah, it's not it or whatever. You just back up a little bit, make sure you clear that area and keep on going. And you can process all the way down. You say like we're in this lane here, get to the end, start working down this way. If we have more than 2 or 3 lanes, just keep processing the lanes. And you can make this thing, and you can get all the way, if you actually wanted to go all the way down to that electrical pole down there, you could do that with a lot of confidence. Another trick that you can do is to say you're running short on time, but you want to come back to the site. You know you've covered a certain area for a lost item that's very important and you need to find it. Take your phone out and take some pictures of where you last had your lines set up. Just reset them up the next time you come out. It's a really cool concept, this bag here. Another little trick, sometimes if you need to put these little flags that you use for marking your sprinklers, you can shove them in the ground and use those as markers. And with that, I'm gonna pack this stuff up because it's getting nasty out here. And I will see you at the next search, guys. And if you've lost something, please go to theringfinders.com and look for someone in your local area. If you lost something in the Washington State, in the Pacific Northwest, call the Ring Finder, the Seattle Ring Hunter at 206-618-8194. Cheers, guys. Stay safe. And we'll see you next time. If you've lost your ring or special item of value, please get in touch with me at the SeattleRingHunter.com as soon as possible so I can arrange to do a search for you.